Robert Francis O'Rourke, known as Beto, I don't understand it. It's like the war with Eurasia is over, and it's always been our ally, and East Asia has always been our enemy. I seem to remember a headline every day, every hour, every quarter hour about the evil of white privileged men, and now we have Beto, apparently, millionaire punk rocker skateboarder, fresh off an election loss in Texas, to run for president. And does he have a chance? Well, here we see the solid holds of the blue and the red. Let's talk Mississippi and Georgia first right out of the gate, because here we had maybe a chance with Harris or Waters running. I was looking at an article a couple months ago that talked about the light side of history, about white men and their patriarchy. And both these states are hinged on that new form of progressivism, which is essentially opposition to anything that is Caucasian. So maybe this is good news for Beto. Of course, he'll pick up Garrison Keillor's state, and maybe he'll have a good run in New Hampshire as well. Having recently given away its vote to the Federation, Colorado, of course, will go with the popular vote. It's not entirely passed. It's supposed to get to 270 of electoral votes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a video on this. It seems pretty fair that the West will return into the Democratic column, except for Arizona. It was strange to see Beto having a rally in El Paso, talking about border security, open borders, free citizenship, free welfare for illegals. And the entire time he has this wall in the background protecting him with armed security around him. It's not going to resonate with people down here that have common sense when it comes to just protecting law. It's like the bathroom analogy with overpopulation. If two people live in an apartment and there's one bathroom, you reasonably have freedom of choice. You can go to the bathroom whenever you want. But you stuff 300 people in the same apartment with one bathroom and there's no longer freedom. It becomes regulated. It becomes rationed out. So with the border issue, what is it? 100,000 people a month was the last statistic. We're getting close to there. Crossing over, people in these communities don't have time for the leftist bullshit coming from penthouses in Manhattan. So Arizona and Texas are both solid Republican holds in this case. I talked in the Harris video that Michigan's probably going to be back to blue. That's probably right. The emphasis, I think, at this point, the DNC is going to put on returning it, is a little overwhelming when it comes to Trump's chances. But look what we have left. We still can cross the 270 mark. Just now noticing that I forgot to add Hawaii, which seems to be permanently Democratic, even though it's going to be reliant completely on votes if the Green New Deal passes. I've been giving Maine's 2nd Congressional District to Trump in a lot of these videos, but if you remember Van Jones's white lash, I think in particular in New England, all those white progressives are really going to come out in force with excitement having a white guy on the ticket. So I think if we are going to see any white regionalism, it's going to be in New England. We've talked about the disparity between Virginia and North Carolina. I think Beto's probably got a hold on Virginia. You got to think about the Nova area here. Although most of the state's going to be rural, especially in the west here. The people that are crossing over the Potomac to work in Alexandria or even crossing into D.C., and all those people dependent on constant government inflation and growth, they've just swung the state forever blue. Embarrassing, though, that the Virginia delegation of Democrats seems to represent the same delegation of like 100 years ago in terms of corruption. Missouri's been pretty solidly Republican in the last couple cycles. I don't think it's going to change. I did put it out there just because of the whiteness of Beto. I mean, we really need to focus on this race thing, being that they have for the last 2 years. So if the theory is that 150 million citizens of the United States are closet Nazis, then you would think that the whiteness of Missouri and maybe Nebraska and Iowa would all be in Beto's favor. Of course, Democrat racists looking at this right now say, hey, maybe this works after all. Maybe a white man's what we need to go with after all, as they think that they can pull off Wisconsin. However, the contingent of Trump supporters there seems too strong for me, so I'm going to keep it in the Trump column. Of course, now we've come down to the 4 states that either way will turn this. Trump's going to have to win all these, but if Robert O'Rourke manages to get any one of them out, it's over. I think North Carolina remains a safe bet for Trump, basically the military bases and the demographic changes that have occurred at least since 2012 when Obama lost it. Same too with Florida. It seems the South in general are Trump supporters mainly because of the Confederate attitude of less government, which certainly isn't the Democratic platform. In about a dozen of these prediction videos, I've given Ohio to Trump, and I think that's pretty consistent. Moving right on in a band almost into Pennsylvania is that blue-collar worker, almost all the way to Scranton. It's going to be difficult for the left to make a play in Pennsylvania anymore. I don't see it happening. I want to give it to Trump, but it is a possibility due to his whiteness and all these closet Nazis that are apparently on every corner that he would turn. So I imagine that is the Democrats' hope, that they'll just pretend that they were never calling out white people and put Beto in as their choice just so they could win. I don't know if that's inherently racist in of itself, to manipulate race in that way. I suppose it is, but I don't think the left ever cared about that. Nonetheless, Trump will gain the state, leading to his re-election with 282 to 256. Let me know down in the comments where you think I'm wrong on this particular prediction. I do think Pennsylvania is going to be very close. Let's not mince words there. And also Wisconsin could make a play, and Arizona, depending on how crazy we want to get with open borders, could also be in there. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and give me a like if you haven't already. Join the Discord if you want, and we'll see you next time when I think I'm going to do another Bernie. So look forward to that.